Hey guys, what's up and welcome to my new gaming channel. Specifically, it's a Final Fantasy 14 focused gaming channel. This might seem a bit out of left field to a lot of you, especially those of you who know my gaming habits, which we're just not going to talk about that. If you know, you know, and if you don't, well, just keep watching the video. I know I'm coming from a different channel that is everything. I've done everything from Reddit reviews to story times. I've talked a lot about the industry. We'll just leave it there because this is now a wholesome OWO channel and I'm a budding weeb. It just got to the point that I want to have a gaming focused channel. I want to have a gaming focused community, and the big turning point that made me really decide to say I've been wanting a gaming channel for a while now, but I didn't know like what the content was going to be. I didn't know if I want to do broad gaming news. I don't think I really want to try like hyper edited content that's like super hard to make, because I probably won't stick with it in that case. I want a gaming channel that can like highlight my personality and allow me to interact with the community I have already and want to continue building on. So I had to find a game that like suited that, and I've been kind of jumping around ever since I had this idea in my head. Like I wanted a separate gaming channel, I wanted just about gaming. I don't want everything else I'm associated with to have anything to do with it, but like what am I gonna do? And I've been sort of like stuck on that for several months. But the turning point was well, I've been streaming pretty regular. I took like a month off because I didn't feel good, but like I'm not gonna do that again. But I've been streaming like pretty regularly since maybe June, and now even more so. And I've been popping around different games. You know, I played a little bit of New World, I've played some like Valhalla, I've played Far Cry, I think I've even played RuneScape. Like I love games in general. I play a lot of games. If it's a game that's worth playing, I've probably at least dabbled with it. I've modded the shit out of Skyrim. I'm a true deep neckbeard degen gamer. In fact, today was the first day I showered after like 3 days because I went down like a Final Fantasy hole. So that was cool. And I just want a place where I can just be myself and stop being like pushed into other things because I'm good at other things too. It's gonna be easier for me to create regular content if I'm making it on something I love to do, and that is gaming. And if I could choose what I want to do all day for the rest of my life, I mean, travel's in there somewhere, but I would choose gaming pretty much over anything at this point. And I'm not going to be able to stick to any content creation that doesn't involve gaming. So it's okay if we only have just, you know, 500 views on a video or something. I mean, there was once upon a time from my main channel where that is also what I got. I got 300, 400, 500 views on videos there. And it wasn't until I started talking about the industry that it started really growing. And I grew an audience that sort of didn't like, as much as I loved them, it just got really fragmented, and they weren't interested in things I was interested in. They were interested in learning more about that, but I'm not in that anymore, and I digress. My point is, at the beginning of that channel, there was a time where I was growing and I was being more myself and more authentic, and I was just making like I was making gaming stuff and nerd stuff, and you know, it was a good time, and I want to get back to that. I missed that and I want to get back to that, and I don't think it's possible on my main channel anymore. So back to Final Fantasy 14. It's going to be my go-to game. Surprisingly enough, it is not, because of the huge growth it's had around recent times because of Asmongold and whatever. I played the shit out of this game last summer. I no-lifed pretty hard on it. I got a level 80 ninja. I killed the first boss in the raid tier. I did the whole MSQ storyline. I did so much transmog. I played with mods. Okay, sorry, it's glamour. It's glamour. You know, I'm sorry. I'm still a WoW player in my soul, but not anymore. I dabbled in a lot of it, but I didn't really deep dive into any of it because I only played for around 3 months, and then I sort of got sucked into Shadowlands, World of Warcraft, and then I embarked on a very deep depression that only World of Warcraft players would understand, because only World of Warcraft players feel like so bad. Ever since I quit that at the beginning of this year, and I had a lot of life stuff. I moved and I got like a surgery. I did a lot of stuff this year, so I've kind of just sort of been like flitting from game to game, like looking for like what is that game that's going to inspire me. And see, Final Fantasy was like a year ago, but I wasn't in a position at the time. I was working on a startup and other stuff. I didn't really know how to go about making content for it, so I just kind of didn't. Well, I'm changing that. I put a pause on pretty much everything else in my life. You know, I already have a different page that I make content for that is, you know, it's something in nature. The existence of that is going to allow me to just make what I want to make and do what I want to do. I don't really have to worry about like, you know, if I'm getting tons of viewers or if it's growing or anything like that. So I'm really excited about that. And yeah, back to Final Fantasy 14. After jumping from game to game, like what is it about this game that's gonna keep me here for the foreseeable future? Well, a couple things. When I did quit the first time, or took a break is a better way of putting it, there were some gripes I had with the game, and I think I want to make a different video going into that. But suffice to say, I've been watching a lot of interviews with Yoshi P, and it sounds like they're really looking into addressing all of my biggest issues with the game. I mean, I'll just throw it out there because I'm sure everyone else agrees with me. Like, everybody hates the glamour system. I want to collect all of it. I want all of it. I want all of the weapons, all of them, and I want to be able to play dress up with them. This is what I want. I want every fucking weapon in the game that has particle effects on it, and I want to make a pretty outfit that goes with every single one of them. But you cannot do that in this game right now. You just can't. You just can't. It's terrible. Like, why am I gonna grind for hours and hours and hours and hours for all these cool swords, big dick axes? I can only pick 15 swords. What if I like swords and guns? Yeah, I can't even pick 15 swords. How am I gonna pick 15 swords and guns? Anyway, we don't exactly know how this is being addressed yet, or if and when, but the fact that Yoshi P has come out and said, I know, and we're working on it, is enough for me. That's all I needed to hear. So I'm more willing to invest in the game because I feel like it's really going to grow into something even more magical than it already is, and some of my biggest hangups are going to be addressed. And yeah, that's a different video. I have a list of things, but it's interesting that I feel like literally every single one of them has been addressed. In Final Fantasy, I really like that there's so much casual content. I like casual content, like, in general. Like, I don't always want to go hardcore, but I also sometimes do want to be like super challenged and go hardcore. And Final Fantasy really does have like a lot of really amazing fights and ways to go back and play old fights, and also like lots of fun casual stuff like housing and outfits and stuff like that, which you could say, oh wow, and other games have that too, but you know, Final Fantasies just look better. Lastly, the community and just general like content like opportunities surrounding the game. Like, I feel like there's just a lot of things I can cover and a lot of things I can say. Well, the community is amazing. The Final Fantasy community has always been like super great. You know, I'm pervy, y'all are pervy, let's be pervy together while we like ooh our way to whatever. I don't know, I'm still learning how to weeb, okay? Obviously Endwalker is coming out. That's gonna be a whole host of like new content stuff for stream and YouTube videos, and I just feel like there's a lot to explore. And I also feel like the people who would like to watch this type of content, well, first of all, are fairly underserved. The Final Fantasy content creator community is not overly saturated. The game is only kind of just now sort of starting to really gain like traction and be pretty much one of the top rated MMOs in the world at this point. So I feel like it's something I like to make, is something I feel like people would like to watch, and something a little different. I think I'm a little different, but I think it might be appreciated. Oh, the biggest turning point. I'm so rambling, I'm sorry. But the biggest turning point that made me decide, this is the one. This is the game. I'm gonna stick to this game. I'm gonna make content on this game. It's gonna be weird. Not that many people are gonna watch it, but we're gonna find out. I was on stream and I get good viewership for Final Fantasy, but I've definitely had more viewership in like Just Chatting or other games. When I started playing Final Fantasy, and it's only been the past like 3 or 4 days, I noticed like a shift in my audience dynamic that I had never noticed before. People started focusing more on the game and just me being a part of it and playing sort of with me, and the focus became less sort of like on me or like trying to find out if I'm single. There was just a shift, like people were more interested in what I had to say as far as like commentary and my opinions and reactions, and that's all I kind of ever wanted. I mean, when I started making content in the first place on YouTube like a long time ago in a galaxy far away, my first videos were about Elder Scrolls Online. I was trying to be a gamer and I just sort of fell out of that, and I started just pivoting to what more people would watch, but not exactly what I loved. I did consider ESO as the game as well, but I feel like that I just played that game as like Skyrim 2. It doesn't really have some of the draws that Final Fantasy have. There's not a lot of like super rare content or rare mounts and stuff. I mean, there's not a lot of like epic grinds or whatever. Like, it really does just kind of feel like a pretty good open world RPG with some multiplayer content that's good. I understand there's raid content and some of the single player content like Maelstrom Arena are really amazing, but I digress. I'm not gonna talk about ESO. I just feel like Final Fantasy and the community has so much more room to grow than that game or really any other games, and I'm not gonna play shooters. I only like RPGs and MMOs, and New World is not gonna be it. That ain't it, sis. I've come to realize that. I was considering New World. I don't think it's gonna be it, and this is what's left. I'm not touching fucking World of Warcraft ever fucking again. This game is depression in a bottle. That's just sort of my rambly introduction to the Final Fantasy 14 channel. Oh, the last thing I want to say is, because Yoshi P kind of does encourage people to branch out and try other games in Final Fantasy. I feel like in the future, if and when there's a content drought, or I do want to take a little bit of a break, you know, I could make other content about other games eventually that people would still enjoy, maybe like something about Genshin or something, because I think Final Fantasy, the community does overlap a lot with other games and interesting things. So we're gonna find out if you guys have ideas or suggestions about what I should make content on. I've already got a list of things I want to address. My biggest idea is I want to make a video of all my big long-term goals, because I got some fancy ones, so I wanted to talk about that. And yeah, if you want to hang out with me on stream and check out some Final Fantasy 14 live gameplay, it's twitch.tv/pagejxo. And now change my name. I'm not gonna change it again, I swear. I love you guys so much. Thanks for listening, and hopefully we go on like a cool journey and I can finally just be like authentically the gamer, degen, no life loser that I really am on the inside, who likes to play hardcore, like difficult content and also dress up a lot. I'm Paige. See you next time.